Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Boy Movies, the place to talk movies, and we got ourselves an update regarding the Sonic movie universe because we just got ourselves a brand new release date for a new entry into this movie franchise based off of the video game series. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is talking about this announcement for a new spin-off movie in the Sonic universe, as well as the character that I think that this spin-off movie belongs to. But be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on this announcement for a new Sonic movie spin-off. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so just moments ago from me recording this video, Paramount went ahead and added some new release dates for some of their movies for the year 2028. One of which being a new live-action Ninja Turtles movie that is slated to release on November 17th, 2028. And I think this is the live-action movie that we got announced just a couple of weeks ago where it caused the last Ronin movie to get cancelled, which I did make a video on. And along with the new Ninja Turtle movie reboot, we also got announced of a new Sonic movie coming out in 2028, with Discussing Film saying an event movie in the Sonic universe will release on December 22nd, 2028 in theaters. They still do mention that Sonic 4 is still scheduled to come out in March of 2027, so good to see that movie still on track for that release date. Now, something that I do want to go ahead and point out with this is that they're not saying that this is Sonic the Hedgehog 5, but rather a Sonic event movie, which I think sort of confirms that this movie is going to be a Sonic movie spin-off where it features some other character within the Sonic movie universe. And if that's the case, then we don't know who will be getting this spin-off movie, but through process of elimination, we know that Knuckles can't be it because he got a TV series. There's a chance that this could be an Amy Rose spin-off movie set before or after the events of Sonic 4. Or this spin-off movie could be used to introduce a brand new character into the Sonic movie universe like Silver or Rouge, that is if they don't even appear in Sonic 4 as even a big role or a cameo in the end credits scene. But there's one character that I am hoping is ending up getting this release slot for a spin-off movie, that being Shadow the Hedgehog. I think Shadow the Hedgehog has huge potential to have a really good spin-off movie in the Sonic movie universe, and he did also have his own spin-off game in 2005, which this year just so happens to be the 20th anniversary of that Shadow the Hedgehog video game. And after seeing what they did with the character of Shadow in Sonic Movie 3, not only did I really like what they did with that character, but I'm also hoping that we get to see a lot more of Shadow the Hedgehog later on in the Sonic movie universe, whether it be in a future Sonic sequel or in his own spin-off movie. Whether it ends up being a prequel when he was back in the 70s in the Gun Labs, or in a movie set after the events of Sonic Movie 3, where it picks off right after the end credit scene of Sonic Movie 3. And I guess that's where I'm going with why I think that this could end up being a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie, because we got that end credit scene in Sonic Movie 3. Like, that scene might not be teasing something that could go down in like Sonic 5 or Sonic 6, but maybe in a Shadow spin-off movie. But I don't know if a Shadow spin-off would have even gotten a movie, because going back to the character of Knuckles, his spin-off ended up being a TV series that went to Paramount Plus. And it might have been a possibility that these other characters that could get spin-offs could be given a TV series format on Paramount Plus instead of a movie. But here, with this new December 22nd, 2028 release, and them not saying that it's for Sonic 5, leads me to think that this is going to be a spin-off, and Shadow the Hedgehog might actually end up getting a spin-off movie rather than a spin-off series on Paramount Plus. And with it going to theaters and being a movie, it can have a budget just as big as the Sonic movies, the main ones, and look just as good as those movies. Not saying that if it was a TV show, it wouldn't have that big of a budget, because the Knuckles series does look pretty good on a TV show. So if Shadow were to get a spin-off series, I would think they would get the same treatment in terms of production budget. But with them labeling this new movie as an event film, this movie is going to be big, and they're gonna go all out with this movie. And with this being labeled as an event movie, this could only mean it's gonna have major impacts within the Sonic movie universe. And that this movie could maybe introduce that big villain for that movie. I know Chaos could be a potential villain in there, and he could be cool, but I think a more likely option, since we are going to be getting Metal Sonic as the main villain of Sonic Movie 4, I think that we could see a more progressional tease for Metal Sonic to eventually become Metal Overlord, a giant mechanical monstrous version of Metal Sonic. And I think this could tie into the mid-credit scene of Sonic Movie 3 because we don't know that much about Amy and Metal Sonic in the Sonic movies. There's theories saying that they're maybe from the future and time traveling back to help prevent a future and where everything is post-apocalyptic. But perhaps instead of a future where Dr. Robotnik completely takes over as some early concept art suggests, maybe it's instead Metal Overlord completely taking over and completely destroying the world and turning it into a post-apocalyptic future. And maybe perhaps Sonic the Hedgehog 4 could be an early start to that storyline being told and possibly Sonic the Hedgehog 6. And this spin-off movie could help further develop what could eventually lead into that big movie where Metal Overlord is the main villain. And this could possibly be tying into what I hope could end up being this Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie that could be coming out in 2028. Because we do not know what happened to Shadow at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Or where he went to in that end credit scene for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, part of me would hope that Shadow ended up on a different planet because it's about time that we end up going to some of these other planets within the Sonic movie universe because we got a whole trilogy of Sonic movies and they've all stayed on Earth. It's about time we explore some of these other planets that these Sonic creatures are from. But perhaps instead of being on a different planet, Shadow somehow went into this post-apocalyptic future, and maybe this Shadow spin-off movie could be of Shadow trying to return to modern times, where along the way he encounters Metal Overlord. And there you go, you could possibly have that set up to where Metal Overlord could be the villain of a future endgame style event for the Sonic movies, where all these characters that we've met throughout all of these movies team up to fight against Metal Overlord. Maybe I'm just overlooking things and that this could just be just a regular spin-off movie, but I'm just going back to them saying that this is a Sonic event movie. There's gotta be something that is big enough to warrant it being labeled as an event film. Regardless, it's still gonna be very exciting to have 2 consecutive years back to back to have a new entry in the Sonic movie universe with Sonic 4 in 2027 and the spin-off movie in 2028. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys excited for the Sonic movie spinoff? And do you guys think that this could end up being the Shadow spinoff movie and when we'll see it? Go ahead and leave all of that down in the comments section. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. And have a great day.